guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I just want to say a massive thank you because we've just reached 100 subscribers. That's absolutely mad. All I can say is thank you so much. Today's video I'm going to show you how to make the classic Rum Babas from scratch. If you don't know what a Rum Baba is, it's a French classic pastry. It's similar to a brioche dough. It involves eggs and butter, but it's a lot looser. It's more like a batter. And once you bake them, they're super light and delicate, and then you soak them in a sugar syrup. So let's make this, shall we? So the first thing you need to do when you're making Rum Babas is you need to activate the yeast. So in a container, add in 215 grams of yeast, along with 35 milliliters of whole milk, which have warmed up to 28 degrees Celsius. Then add it to the yeast like so. Then add in 10 grams of honey. By the way, if you don't like honey, you could probably substitute it with maple syrup, but caster sugar definitely works. It's just there to help activate the yeast. Then just give it a quick mix until the yeast and the honey have dissolved. Then put a lid on it and leave it in a warm spot in your house for about 10 minutes to allow it to activate. So in the meantime, we are going to prepare the dry ingredients. So in a medium sized bowl, sift in 63 grams of plain flour, along with 3 grams of salt, then give it some whiskey business to combine the ingredients together. Now by this time the yeast should be nice and active. As you can see, there's a lot of mini bubbles and froth on the top. That's a sign that it's active and ready to use. Pour into the dry mix, along with 1 whole egg. Now just give it a good beat until nice and homogeneous, meaning no lumps. Perfect. Now let's come over to the stove. We're going to melt some butter until you achieve a brown butter. I've showed you so many times how to make brown butter, in other words beurre noisette. So go check out my brown butter chocolate chip cookie recipe. They're incredible, by the way. Now once you've melted your butter, do me a favour and add it in 2 stages. By first adding a splash of the melted butter to the batter so you can temper the batter. Because the last thing you want is specks of scrambled egg in your batter. So once you pour all the butter in, you're just going to mix it until it's nicely incorporated and you achieve a nice smooth, lump-free batter, essentially. It's not too complicated. The only hard bit is making the beurre noisette in the first place. Now for the molds, this is what I'm using today. Just like a little mini muffin mold. I'm going to create like little mini Rum Babas. They're so cute. Now, when it comes to greasing your mold, doesn't matter if it's non-stick, make sure you grease it properly with a lot of butter. Because what I like to say is, better safe than sorry. Once you finish brushing inside the molds with butter, then I like to thinly coat the mold with granulated sugar. That will give the Rum Babas a gorgeous, sticky caramel exterior once baked. If you're wondering, you could easily replace the sugar with plain old flour, but trust me, coating the molds with sugar is the way to go. So now we're all sorted, we're ready to fill the molds. Whatever mold you decide to choose, make sure you fill the mold just under halfway. Because with the proof, they'll double in size. And they'll also rise a bit in the oven, you gotta think about that. Now simply just cover your top of your molds with cling film and let proof in one place in your house for about an hour. I'm back. Here we go. Look, it's been an hour later, they've proved nicely. Now it's time to bake these. Make sure your oven was preheated at 180 degrees prior and bake them for about 13 minutes or until the top and edges have got a nice, gorgeous golden brown. At this stage, you want to be fast. You don't want to be messing around. You want to just tip them out immediately whilst hot. Yes, whilst hot. There's a reason for it. Because if you leave them too long, the sugar will crystallize, making it impossible to come out in one piece. Once you remove them from the mold, let them cool in a wire rack upside down. So in the meantime, while the Rum Babas are cooling, I'm going to show you a nice simple sugar syrup. This is what we're going to soak the Rum Babas in. So in a saucepan, add in your water, sugar and the zest from 1 orange. Bring that to the boil and we're going to cook until the sugar is completely dissolved. It'll probably take about 2 to 3 minutes there and thereabouts. Now we're ready for the fun bit, the alcohol. For this recipe I'm using some white rum, which isn't as strong as dark rum, by the way. So if you want a more intense flavour, use dark rum. Now bring that to the boil and cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes just to cook off that bitter alcohol taste. Most recipes say add the alcohol right at the beginning when you start making the syrup. I completely disagree, because then the alcohol will get diluted down, which then you won't be able to taste the wonderful flavour of the rum. Now guys, we are ready to soak our beautiful Rum Babas. So when it comes to soaking them, make sure the syrup is just under the simmering point. Because if the syrup's way too hot, you won't be very happy, because the Rum Baba will just break up and go really soggy and mushy, and that's not very pleasant. It would taste like a really wet sponge. So you just want to soak them for a maximum of 20 to 30 seconds. Then place the Rum Baba on a wire rack placed above a tray to allow it to drain a bit to remove any excess and cool down. Then repeat for the remaining. Another thing to look out for, if the Rum Baba does not double in size once soaked, the syrup has been reduced too much and you have to thin it out a bit. It's just trial and error. once you finish soaking, if there is any syrup remaining, pour it over the top of the rum babas because it's too good to waste. And then there you have it, guys. A delicious rum baba treat that you can eat. Like, it's like a petit four rum baba. Delicious. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care and peace.